this is a resident room on Cherry Lane is the wing that it's on. This is one of our bigger private rooms. During COVID, we've made all of our rooms single rooms, but prior to that, we did have a few double occupancy rooms. They would have to know how to use our electric beds. Obviously raising them if you're going to provide some sort of care while they're in bed, or maybe just getting them ready for bed. We have some beds based on resident needs that they're going to go up high so that you're able to work with a resident, but then when you're finished and you're leaving the room maybe for the night, it's going to go all the way to the floor. This one isn't, but so we have different types of devices that we use to prevent people from getting hurt. That's probably the only one in here. And then of course a call light. Each of our residents get a call light. We're actually in the process of switching that out within the next week or two. That'll be different. So my official title now is Administrator of Good Shepherd Campus. So I'm responsible for all the regulatory obligations that happen here on our campus. We have a nursing home. So we have a 70-bed skilled nursing facility here, or nursing home. We have a child care center, an assisted living that's licensed for 15 units, and then we have a 32-unit HUD subsidized apartment. Those are for independent residents. I've been in this role for exactly 3 weeks. Our old administrator just retired after 13 years here. So although I'm new to this role, I am not new to Good Shepherd. I started here in 2005 as a nursing assistant working on the floor. And then after about 8 months or so, I transitioned into the senior housing director position, which oversees the assisted living and the independent apartments. And I did that for about 15 years. And then became an assistant administrator, and I kind of did both roles for a little bit, and now have officially moved to administrator. I oversee all the directors of the management team. So those are the ones that directly report to me. So I kind of deal with not only the regulatory, but I guess the whole, everything that happens here is kind of what my job is. So there's 11 managers, including myself. So there's 10 that report directly to me. I think right now there's about 130. It fluctuates between about 128 and 132 that we employ throughout all of the continuum. So they have to be caring. They have to take care of people. And when I say people, we range from 6 weeks in our childcare to 103, I think, is the oldest we have right now. So we're really looking for people that want to serve others is the biggest thing. So there's a lot of training that happens here, depending on the role that the person is going to serve. So specifically in our assisted living, if you're coming as kind of an entry level or that Bremer aide position, there's no requirements as far as licensure, or they don't have to be a certified nursing assistant. So we kind of take on that role here, like do they want to learn? Do they want to do the job? Are they detail oriented? Can they follow policies and procedures? Do they ask questions when it's appropriate to ask questions? Because we're taking care of people, and so we need to make sure that people understand what the policies and procedures are and that they're following them to keep people safe. So like I said, I started out as a nursing assistant here at Good Shepherd, worked as a housing director. So I have a 4-year degree in therapeutic recreation, which is considered a medical field. So I was able to apply for my job as a housing director because I had that 4-year degree. And then I was able to move on and apply for my administrator's license based on the experience and the education that I had. But there's other routes that you can take. There's several people that just go, they work as, say, a nursing assistant, like through high school, through college, and they may take up something like healthcare administration. That type of degree would allow you to sit for an exam, so you could become a licensed nursing home administrator if you chose to do so. And then there's other ways, like if you just want to work, there's a few classes that you have to take. And so there's a few different routes that you can take to get there. But I would say, you know, if you're interested in any future or career in healthcare, this is a great start. Whether it's just, you know, meeting with residents and interacting with them and their families and dealing with all of the things that go with that. Or if you want to get a little more hands-on and you want to work as a nursing assistant, you want to work as a Bremer aide, those all help build that resume if you want to become, say, a nurse, or you want to become our social work, you know, any of the director positions. All of those are going to help build a resume and be more appealing for the future. When you're talking about any health type classes, of course, when you're talking about disease processes or just anatomy and physiology, like all of those are important when you're filling out reports. Things happen, you know, so if you fill out an incident report and somebody gets hurt, whether that's a staff person or a resident or a child, it's important to know like parts of the body, like, you know, what is a skin tear versus a, you know, an abrasion, like all of those things. So just some basic anatomy and physiology, health, science, like how does the body work, and just learning, you know, in our assisted living, it's a lot more home-like, and so there's a lot less commercial equipment. So it's just like doing laundry, how to clean a room, like, you know, those basic things that you have to know anyway to be on your own. All of those are helpful. The aides here help our teachers and our assistants. So the teachers are really responsible for the curriculum that happens here, the teaching, you know, those things that happen. The aides are really that support to them. So making sure the needs of the kids are taken care of, but they're also helping to teach them. They're teaching them, you know, good manners. They're teaching them good socialization habits. They're teaching each other how to be good friends. So all of those things they're watching and making sure that everyone's staying safe, which can be interesting in this setting with this room can have up to 30 kids in it at one time with 3 staff. So it can get a little crazy, but fun, lots of fun. The teacher has to have 24 college credits. And if they have like a 2 or 4 year degree, then, you know, all of that kind of changes as far as what their experience is to makes a difference to actually be labeled a teacher. But the curriculum that we currently use is called Creative Curriculum, and it's really a package, and it allows teachers to kind of have a guide as to where to start, like what are we learning about this week or this month. And how do we get there? But the teacher's job is to kind of pull it all together and decide how we're going to teach that. So whether it's different books they have to pull out or different activities, craft projects, all those different fun things that they get to do. We also have an assistant teacher, which is good for college students who are maybe going to school for education or things like that, because based on the classes that they've taken, those can be used to get that credential, so you can become an assistant. An assistant can be used similar to a teacher, but it has different regulations as far as how many hours teachers can be in a room, how many times an assistant can be in a room throughout the week. So it's a little more, we have to be more strategic as to where we place them. But that's really a great place for people who have started with college credits, but they're not necessarily finished with their degree. So you can be an aide at 16, but you can't, there are stipulations. You can't be left alone with children. You can't close So you can't work till 5:30 by yourself until you're 18. But we still do hire kids who are under the age of 18. I think at 16, 17, and 18, I didn't realize that there was actually like curriculum that they followed. Like, I think I had in my head that it was just like free play, you know, and then you would do craft projects. But there's so many other things that goes into kids coming, whether it's, you know, good habits as far as hanging up your coat and your backpack and washing your hands before you go to meals, and like, you know, so there's all those different things that happen that I guess I just didn't think about before kind of seeing what happened, whether it was from filling in here or bringing my own kids here. And then of course, after my kids have come, all of my kids went to Good Shepherd, all the things that they learned and how prepared they were for preschool and then kindergarten. So obviously there was a lot of curriculum being taught, letters, numbers, colors, shapes, like all of those things were happening way sooner and much more strategic than what I would have done maybe at home. Obviously here in childcare, they work as a team and there's different pieces of that team. And so your teacher is, or the lead teacher is the one who's kind of running the show. They're the ones who are leading kind of the educational things or directing the aides or assistants to do things. But everybody is needed, one, to meet our ratios. You have to have so many teachers, aides, or assistants per the amount of kids dependent on the room. So the ratio in the baby room is going to be much different than the ratio in the preschool room. So you need, especially in this room, more reinforcements. And so it's very important that we have aides and we have assistants and we have teachers, because they all have kind of different responsibilities, and they're all needed to kind of make it work.